Hi guys, well, quite a lot to get through in this episode, so I'll keep it as quickly as possible. First of all, Wilfried Zaha won himself the Fans Player of the Year award. I don't think there was any doubt in that. He's played incredibly well this season, and regardless of what happens to him in his future, I think that he has cemented himself as one of the legends of the Crystal Palace club. And it was always going to be he was always going to be favourite for the Fans Player of the Year, wasn't he? I think it was always going to be the case, and it's good luck to him, of course, with that. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about Jesurun Rak-Sakyi, who is currently with Charlton. Now, Charlton aren't having a very good time at the moment. They're battling relegation, and Crystal Palace are apparently a little bit concerned by this, and so it is possible they're going to be bringing his loan spell with Charlton to a halt for January, and then loaning him out to another club in the January transfer window. There are a few that have expressed an interest in him, and I think there's no reason why not. He's played very well for Charlton, and it's just a shame that Charlton weren't able to capitalise on his form to keep themselves out of the relegation area. But although it would be a shame for Charlton, as I think he's one of their best players at the moment, obviously Crystal Palace want to think about his career and moving him forward and giving him the experience that he needs. So it could be that he will swap clubs in January. The last thing I want to talk about is John Textor. Now, apparently, there was an article the other day, and I was going to do a video on it, but I'm glad I didn't now, because John Textor has since defended the position that he currently has. Now, of course, we know that he's recently secured the buying of Lyon, and there are, well, at least one journalist was rumouring that he would be splashing the cash at Lyon this January transfer window, and therefore Crystal Palace wouldn't necessarily have a lot of funds to buy players within the January transfer window. Now, of course, that is a possibility. Obviously, he's only a limited resources. Even though he is a millionaire, he's only got limited resources, and he may want to just push the Lyon transfers through in January and then perhaps concentrate on Crystal Palace at the end of the season. Who knows? But John Textor took to Twitter to defend his position. He said, "You need new sources, Mr. Nixon." He was the guy who wrote the article. "Palace fans are too smart to believe such nonsense. I remain as committed as ever as a partner at Palace. A stronger Eagle football with a family that stretches from Brazil to Europe only gives us more ways to help." So you can read into that obviously he is going to be committed to Crystal Palace in the long term, but that doesn't necessarily answer the fact about the January transfer window. So we'll have to wait and see whether there is any money available for us to strengthen in January. It's possible that we could just be looking for bargains and loan deals as we have in the past. Although Crystal Palace are always after a bargain, we're not necessarily one of those clubs that spend stupid money on players just for the sake of it. So I think it's going to be a measured time in the transfer market in January. But I'd love to hear your views on this. What do you think about the John Textor situation? Do you think that his purchase of Lyon will now cause his money to be stretched more and more, and therefore less resources going to the clubs that he owns? Or do you think that this, as he said in his tweet here, will actually make his resources more, bolster his resources and make him able to help clubs a lot more than he already does? Let me know your comments as always, and don't forget to subscribe.